Oh, that's good. I keep having this nagging feeling that I've forgotten something.
Hey, if you forgot it, it probably wasn't all that important.
Yeah, I guess.
So, there are many video game franchises that I enjoy that haven't had a new installment in years, such as Banjo-Kazooie, Panel de Pon, Starfy, Goemon, Twinbee, and much more. But one video game franchise that I will be talking about in this video that has gotten very little attention as of late will be NiGHTS. Just to give some background information about what the franchise is, the first entry of the series, Nights into Dreams, was originally released for the Sega Saturn back in 1996. The game stars two kids named Elliot Edwards, who wishes to become the best basketball player, and Clarice Sinclair, who wishes to become a singer. However, things are not going well with the two, as Elliot is suffering from a humiliating defeat, while Clarice is overcome by stage fright. As a result, both of their dreams turn into nightmares that replays the events for both of them, but they later manage to escape their nightmares and have entered the world of Nightopia, where they get help from a purple jester known as Nights, and with their help, they will face many nightmare creatures created by the ruler of nightmares known as Wise Man the Wicked in order to save Nightopia. Although the Sega Saturn was a flop, Nights into Dreams is considered to be a fan favorite by many, and is considered to be one of the best games released for the system, and it's also one of my personal favorites as well. Also in the same year, Sega released a Christmas version of Nights during the holiday season, and then soon afterwards, the series would later be referenced in other Sega games, such as Elliot and Clarice appearing in Burning Rangers, a pinball-themed level in Sonic Adventure, some capsule toys in Shenmue, an assist helper of Nights and Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg, and even Nights themselves being a guest playable character in Sonic Riders and its sequel. While Nights has been making a lot of cameos in other Sega franchises, they wouldn't receive a new entry for 11 years, whereas in 2007, Nights Journey of Dreams was released for the Nintendo Wii. Basically, the story of the game is almost identical to the first game, but it stars two new kids, having new bosses, added missions in the levels, and also more cutscenes plus full voice acting for the first time.
Dualize!
Oh yeah, and they also added their own Chow Garden with the Nightopians, which I think is a nice touch. Although not as memorable as the first game, Nights Journey of Dreams was a pretty fun sequel, and of course, we would get some more Nights cameos after Journey of Dreams, such as Nights and Reala appearing as playable characters in Sega Superstars Tennis, and in Sonic and the All-Stars Racing Transformed. We even got a DLC level of Sonic Lost World, where you get to fight the original Nightmare and bosses from the first game. After that, sadly, Nights really hasn't had a major appearance as of late, and this is where things started to slow down for the Purple Jester. So, why am I bringing all of this up now? Well, more recently, Sega has bringing back many of their IPs which haven't had a new installment in years, such as Jet Set Radio, Space Channel 5, Golden Axe, Sakura Wars, Samba de Amigo, Streets of Rage, and even Alex Kidd. But where the hell is Nights? I mean, for God's sake, Nights is one of Sega's iconic mascots, and it's shocking that Nights hasn't had a new game for nearly 20 years now. Now yes, Sega has released a Nights-themed slot machine known as Nights Dream Wheel in 2021, but I am not counting that because screw gambling games. And it's not just Nights not having a new entry in years, but it's also the fact that more recently, Nights has been getting shafted in the more recent Sega crossovers, such as Sega Heroes, released in 2018, a mobile game that is long gone now, but it has characters not just from Sonic, but also Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Super Monkey Ball, Jet Set Radio, Phantasy Star, Virtual Fighter, and much more. But Nights is not presented, nor is the series even referenced in the game at all. which is incredibly baffling to me. Like, how could they seriously forget about one of their most iconic games from the Saturn era that has so many cameos in other Sega games? Also, in Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, released in 2021, which was made to celebrate 20 years of the Super Monkey Ball franchise, there are Sega guest characters who are playable in Banana Mania, those being Sonic and Tails, Kazuma Kiryu from the Yakuza franchise, and Beat from Jet Set Radio. When I saw some of these characters, I thought for sure they would add NiGHTS this time around, but they didn't. Oh well, maybe DLC then? Not! But instead, we had some characters like Morgana from Persona 5, which makes sense since Sega does own Atlas. Hello Kitty? Okay, I can't complain too much since she is very popular in Japan. Suso from Monster Rancher? Okay, that's pretty unexpected. Surely it can't get weirder than this. Huh? The Game Gear, Saturn, and Dreamcast consoles are playable DLC too? What?
What? What the fuck?
Now, I know the DLC is pretty interesting for Banana Mania, but it is such a shame that NiGHTS wasn't included here. What's that? There's another Super Monkey Ball game with DLC, and it has a Sega Pass? Oh boy! Surely this will be a great time to finally add NiGHTS in this one for sure, right? Oh, you have got to be kidding me right now! Okay, so I have some problems with the Sega Pass. First off, the characters included here. The characters included in the pass are Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, all from Sonic. And then for the other two who are not Sonic related, those being Axel from Crazy Taxi, and Beat from Jet Set Radio, who is now sporting his appearance for the upcoming reboot. The main problem I have with this pass is that more than half of the character slots are taken up by Sonic characters. Like, why? What's the point of calling it the Sega Pass if it's mostly filled up with Sonic characters? It doesn't make any sense! But it gets worse, because rather than making other Sega characters actually playable, like Gilius, Akira, and of course NiGHTS, they decided to make them customization costumes. Like, are you kidding me? I know the costume looks really cool and all, but still! We waited for NiGHTS to be playable in a Monkey Ball game, and this is all we get? God, NiGHTS basically got the Mii costume treatment from Smash Bros. And this pisses me off because NiGHTS could have had the chance to be playable if they didn't have more than half the character slots taken up by Sonic characters. Okay, sorry if I got too heated up there, but it just boils me that NiGHTS doesn't get enough love from Sega as of late, and I don't see how Sega could screw it up again. But let's move on. So another game I want to talk about is Sonic Superstars, which features a metal version of NiGHTS that is unlocked once achieving a perfect bonus in a bonus stage. They also have a boss battle if the player has their part selected as their battle bot. This is probably the best thing we NiGHTS fans have gotten after a long time, but NiGHTS deserves more than that. We need something like a revival or something that isn't gamble related. And to my message to Sega, I am happy to note that you guys are bringing back some of your older IPs which haven't been used in years, but I think it's time you should finally give NiGHTS a chance or something, like a revival or a full-on remake of the first game. And I know you still having some acknowledgement of NiGHTS from time to time as of late, but we would love to see NiGHTS in the full flesh again that isn't just a cameo. Sega, do what it's right to make us NiGHTS fans happy. Thank you. And I do apologize if I was being a bit negative in this one. I just had to let it all out. But that is pretty much all I have to say. And I hope this video will spark some interest in bringing back NiGHTS to the spotlight. Anywho, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, Feel free to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell for more content in the future. And I'll see you all later. Bye!